Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Carrie. This is my first YouTube video, so real nervous. Why I'm doing it in my car actually is because I'm really nervous and I feel more comfortable in my car. And also the lighting in my room is absolutely horrible, so that's another reason why. But let's jump into this video. So why I'm making a YouTube channel basically is because I feel like God has called me to do a YouTube channel, and this channel is basically going to be all about God. Any types of questions we have about God, hopefully I'm going to answer them. Other things that I'm going to talk about is like my personal experience with God and my translations, my relationship, the way I interact with God. It's all going to be based off of me, and I'm sure some people aren't going to agree with what I have to say, but I'm sure some people are. So that's basically what this is I'm going to use this channel as a way to glorify God and help answer any questions or help anyone see God from a different light on this channel. Like, I have a reason why I started it, so might as well tell you. So, to start off with, this past year was absolutely horrible for me. I didn't know that it was horrible until looking back on it now. So, I was a graduate student and a graduate assistant softball coach, and I thought that's what I wanted to do, but after looking back on it, like, being a softball coach right now is not something that I want to do, but it was a great experience at the time, but also looking back on it, it was just horrible for me. Like, I was negative as all get out, which I don't like to be a negative person, and I was just blaming people for other things that were kind of my fault, and I just wasn't happy, and I started to not like the person I was seeing in the mirror. And one of the big reasons why I was so unhappy and so out of whack was because I was not in my faith at all. I was not going to church, I wasn't reading my Bible, I wasn't talking to God, none of that. And I definitely felt it during the year, I just didn't do anything about it. And then May rolls around, and May was a really hard month for me, super hard. It started off with my head coach getting fired, which felt like I got fired because I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was allowed to be a graduate assistant softball coach anymore. I just didn't know what this year was going to look like, this upcoming year was going to look like, which I wasn't okay with. Like, I wasn't expecting that. So throughout the month of May, I had so many questions of what am I going to do? Where am I going in life? What do I want my career to be? Where am I going to live? All these questions that were very hard for me to answer because I didn't have the answers. And with that, I was drunk a lot more times than I was sober. Very much so. And that happened at the beginning of May, and then maybe like a couple days later after that all went down, something else happened. I started questioning my sexuality. I started questioning if I liked males or females. And for me, that was like, that shook me in a way that's undescribable unless you've gone through it. With thinking you're straight for so long, and then all of a sudden this question arises of something so personal, and I was like, I didn't know. So basically throughout the month of May, I thought I was drowning. Completely, like, in the middle of the ocean, no life jacket, nothing, just completely drowning. And then June rolls around, and I decided that I was going to start looking for 2 jobs. And I got them. I started working 2 jobs. And in one of my jobs, I was working with people who had faith as well. And one of the girls wrote me a Bible verse, and I was like, wow, crap. Like, I haven't opened up my Bible in a minute. So I opened it up, I read the Bible verse, and I was like, you know what, like, I need to open up my Bible more often, and I'm going to write her a Bible verse back. And that was something that I started doing on a daily basis, was writing her a Bible verse, and it really helped me stay accountable in reading my Bible every morning. And honestly, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. It got me back in my faith so quickly, and I just opened up again. I started talking to the Lord, I started listening to worship music, and I just felt secure in such a great way. And it was exactly what I needed at that point in time. And now I've been like that for all of June, all of July, and now all of August, and completely changed, like a 180. Just loving life again. And the best part about it was God answered some of those questions for me. God answered my sexuality question, and not who I'm gonna like who I'm gonna marry, but gave me the strength to not know. So let me explain that one. So God basically gave me the strength to be okay with not knowing who I'm going to marry. If I'm going to marry a male or if I'm going to marry a female. And in reality, I'm not marrying a gender. I'm marrying a person. What type of gender they are shouldn't define whether or not I like that person. It's all about the person and who they are, their personality, whether we click or not, if we have that connection. And God's the reason that I can do, that I have that strength. God's the reason that I have the strength to look at people and say, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gay, I don't know if I'm straight, I just don't know. And the reasoning behind that is, we're all fluid. God's fluid in our lives. God's not a box. God is this thing that touches every aspect of our life. So why am I trying to box everything up if God's not in a box? So God's fluid, so everything in my life should be fluid too. And that's the answer he gave me, was, Carrie, your sexuality can be fluid. It's based on a person, not a gender. So just have the strength to believe that. Believe that when your time to come to meet that person is going to be great. And just trust me. And I was like, dang, God, you're right. I do need to trust you. I need to put all that trust back in you. And the easiest way that I can, explain it in, a Bible verse term is, in a different church this time. Well, the reason is because I forgot to hit record on part 2 of my video from a couple days ago. So I'm recording it now. And the reason that I wanted to record this is because I wanted to actually put a Bible verse to the struggle that I went through. So something that's relatable and how you can relate your life to the Bible. Well, one of the Bible verses that I related to was also one of Jesus' miracles. So you can find it in Matthew chapter 16. So, what happened was Jesus walked on water. And Jesus told his disciples, hey, why don't you guys hop in the boat and start paddling to this other town? I'll meet you there. Well, Jesus meeting him there is him walking on water. And the disciples got really scared. They were like, it's a ghost, it's a ghost. And Jesus was like, no, it's me. And Peter was like, well, if it's you, Jesus, let me walk on water. So Jesus said, okay, step out of the boat and start walking. So Peter did. He got out of the boat. He started walking on water. But then he got scared and he started drowning. So Jesus saves him, and Peter asked Jesus, why'd you let me drown? Jesus said, why did you lose faith? Why did you doubt me? That's why you drowned. So, like, that hits hard, because that's exactly what happened. Like, I felt like I've been drowning for a while. Like, I felt I was drowning, so I can relate. And when he says, because you lost faith, or why do you doubt, it was because you lost faith, why do you doubt? I was like, holy moly, like, this is, like, that's exactly what happened to me this past year. Is I 100% lost faith in Jesus, and I was doubting him, because I was like, well, I can control my own life, like, I don't need you type of aspect. And in reality, I need Jesus more than I can ever probably put words to. But I realized that, wow, like, this Bible verse speaks volumes to me. And the reason is because I can relate to Peter. I felt like I've been drowning, and then all of a sudden, when I hop back in my faith, it was like an island just appeared out of the ocean and, like, gave me that hard ground to stand on, and loved it. And that's what believing in Jesus is. It is a hard place to land on, a place where you feel secure, you feel comforted and loved. That's exactly who Jesus is, and that's exactly what faith is. So, what I want you guys to do now is give this video a big thumbs up and go hit that subscribe button so you can listen to me talk more and hopefully help you out with Jesus and God and believing in God. I don't know what brings you to this channel, but whatever it does, I hope I can help. And just remember that Jesus is all that in a bag of chips. Thank you.